Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. This reading covers the period from December 12th, the full moon in Gemini, till December 10th, the full moon in Cancer. These readings are coming out a little bit late, and I do want to apologize. Some of you may know I live between two countries, the United States, and I have just recently landed in the Caribbean, and there's just a little bit of an adjustment period. I've also had some difficulties with the internet. It's excruciatingly slow. It takes me a few hours just to upload one video, so please bear with me. I am getting these videos out slowly but surely. I also just want to apologize in advance for any weird interruptions you might hear. It's very hot here, so I do have the windows open, so you might hear, roosters crowing, cock-a-doodle-dooing, whatever they do, chickens and other sort of weird distractions, motorcycles, sometimes like blasting music. It tends to be sort of like a very noisy place, so I'll try to minimize those interruptions. But for now, we're just going to have to sort of go with the flow, kind of Caribbean style, so I hope you guys don't mind. The Gemini full moon is also known as December's full cold moon, although not here, but where I'm in the US, definitely. And it will highlight a ton of information that you didn't have before. And thanks to Mercury, the planet of communication, moving from guarded Scorpio to outgoing Sagittarius, you'll be more inclined to share those thoughts. Every Gemini full moon brings tidal waves of information and demands that our eyes be open, our minds be inquiring and receptive, and our ears be ready. So this full moon magnifies internal and external dialogues and spreads messages far and wide. But you do have to be discerning about the messages that you're receiving, because you're going to hear everything. The truths, half-truths, and totally, completely fake news. So you're going to have to try to, just really sort of ground yourself and sort of parse through all of that information that you're getting. Okay, because Gemini is very chatty, okay? This full moon spread is going to provide you the messages that you need to hear about how to not only manifest for your highest good, but also what you need to release or what stands in your way. I'm going to pull 7 cards, and then I'm going to read the bottom few cards as an overall energy, cards for the reading, and then I'm going to pull some oracle cards at the end, okay, for additional messages from Spirit. So while I'm doing this reading, I'm just going to ask that you guys give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment, and share. Don't forget to ring that bell if you want to get any notifications when I upload any new information. And for those of you who have been with me before, I want to thank you and give you a huge welcome, and also to any new viewers or listeners out there. But also, you guys know I do new moon spreads, and then I do full moon spreads. And they kind of overlap, but new moons are a great time for manifesting and setting your goals and setting your intentions, speaking them out loud. And a full moon period is a great time to watch those come to fruition, or watch those, watch yourself manifest for the highest good, and or also figure out like what maybe you need to release that isn't serving you on this journey. Okay, Pisces, so Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for Pisces. What messages, spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, and spirit guides does Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs need to hear for this Gemini full moon reading? Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, what messages do they need to hear for this Gemini full moon reading? Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, what messages do they need to hear for this Gemini full moon reading? Okay, we'll just give it a few more little shuffles here. Spirit, what does Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? Queen of Wands wants to show up. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, Pisces, for this full moon reading in Gemini. This full moon in Gemini reading. I'm getting a little bit confused with my words, so I might have a few confused Pisces out there. You might be a little bit at a loss for words as well, maybe not sure exactly what you want to say or how you want to say it, is kind of how I'm interpreting that. Okay. Or like what you want to say, but the words aren't coming out right. All right, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, as a reversal, it doesn't matter. It's just some sort of change. When it's in the upright, you're dealing with change really seamlessly, really easily. Some people look at it as, as a good luck card, which of course it can be. But remember, for us, luck is where opportunity meets preparation. Okay. So just remember that. So the Wheel of Fortune, this is a beautiful card. It's, it's also all about karma and all of your, all of your past deeds, and, are you above board? Do you always do the right thing? And that's not possible for us to 100% of the time, be perfect, or angels, or, or saints, or what have you. So, sometimes, we regret, the way we behaved or decisions that we made. And remember that all comes back to us and doesn't necessarily mean in the exact same form, but it is a reminder that, remember, we are the creators of our own destiny, right? So our actions in the past create the present, and our present creates the future. So I do have the Wheel of Fortune card. Underneath that, I do have, wow, look, I've got 3 major Arcana cards. Whoa. And then the High Priestess. Yeah. Okay, so look here. So I'm just going to go back. We've got the Wheel of Fortune coming out in reverse. So it's you kind of having difficulty maybe dealing with some sort of changes. The Lovers, you made some sort of, or have to make some sort of really important decision. It could be about love. It could be soulmate, twin flame type energy, or it could just be like any really, really important decision you have to make in your life. It could involve a Cancer person. This Lovers is also Gemini period. So it could be now. It could be for this reading, during this reading period. Or it could involve a Gemini and a Cancer. Maybe you're trying to choose between 2 people, or you had to. But it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be third party stuff here, you guys. It could just be, like you having to move, having to travel, you having to stand your ground, you really having to set boundaries, you having to use, your will and your might and your poise all mixed in together to reach your goals. The King of Cups is somebody who's very, very extremely emotional. This is you guys coming out. This is a Piscean. It could be that you're a father or a mother. Remember, gender here is fluid, but he's a visionary, he's a musician, he's a poet. He's very emotional, very intuitive. It's a very Piscean card. Okay, but then we have the High Priestess in reverse, which is kind of like you might have been pushing something that wasn't quite ready to be revealed. The High Priestess in reverse can also be when somebody's trying to decide between 2 people. It could also be that things feel really stagnant. You can't really see what's going on, but there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the background. Divine timing here is at work. Okay, but we'll get into this reading and see if any of that resonates with you guys. So the first card out, Pisces, is Where Are You Right Now? This is the 6 of Pentacles. I love this. I do want to mention, though, we do see the full moon coming up here, this full moon in Gemini, the Lovers card, perfect, resonating in this reading. The High Priestess also has a new moon. So remember, we do have the new moon in Capricorn coming up. I believe it's December 26th, and a lunar eclipse. So really powerful energy. So that might be something that's very powerful for you guys. So pay attention to what's happening between now and the next 2 weeks. The 6 of Pentacles, again, I've got this lunar eclipse. I've got this new moon. So this new moon is going to be really, really important in Capricorn. Pentacles is also Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So without a doubt, Spirit is saying, pay attention to this new moon in Capricorn. My dearest Pisces, it's going to be really important that you bring balance into your life, that you really also that you're sharing. And remember, it doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could also be energy. It could also be love. It's just that give and take and the importance of it. The 6 of Pentacles did come out in the reverse, though, so it kind of sends us back to the 5 of Pentacles. So I feel like you're like suffering, or you're really anxious about finances, or anxious about this situation. You're anxious about not having enough, or not being enough, or something like that, okay? That's what I'm getting there with that 6 of Pentacles in reverse. I also just love this because it's also this confirmation of, paying attention to the cycles of the moon. So some of my Pisceans out there, you guys might be following me, and you might do moon magic, and you might work with manifesting with the moon. Okay, and that's where you are right now. And obviously, because you're listening to this reading. The 9 of Cups is all about wish fulfillment, so how you're projecting yourself to the world. Wish fulfillment is like when you really, really, you really want something, you're really desiring something, but this 9 of Cups is coming out in the reverse, which is sending us kind of back to the 8 of Cups, which is kind of like you feel like you have to do something on your own. Like you have to rectify something. You have to take some sort of trip, some sort of journey. Maybe it's a spiritual journey. Maybe you have to leave for a while, but you kind of have to, figure stuff out, because I think you're feeling like you just have I'm getting this sense of anxiety around money, or about being enough, or being a good enough parent, or being a good enough spouse, or something like that. And that, you know, like, and it's kind of like people are seeing you as like maybe pulling back a little bit. I'm kind of getting the Hanged Man energy or the Four of Swords. And if so, you might want to check out the Cancer reading, because those did appear in the Cancer reading. But like where you kind of just like want to pull back to figure out like how you can bring yourself back into balance, or how you can rectify something. Because you feel like, I feel like Pisces, you feel like you didn't make the greatest decision for some reason. You know what I mean? And I don't think it was intentional, but I think you're being really hard on yourself. The Nine of Cups is like, you know, people seeing you wanting to take that journey, like looking for that ninth cup since it came out in reverse, and maybe you being a little bit of a loner at this time. You could be in a partnership. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, although it really kind of does look like it. And, you know, Spirit is also telling me, you know, like whatever you guys have been asking for, you know, it's coming, but it just might not come in the form that you're expecting or when you're expecting it, okay? All right. What's blocking you, my dearest Pisces? We have the Princess of Swords. There's some sort of lack of information. I feel like you don't have all of the details that you need. You're not comfortable with making a decision. I think maybe this is why you're pulling back. Maybe this is why you're I'm getting this really strong, the Eight of Cups energy, where you have to go on a journey. You have to find something that either you lost or that you never had to begin with. And it's really kind of doing your head in. It's really holding you back because you're not really sure. You know, you don't have all the information. You might not even be able to articulate it. Remember at the beginning of this reading, I started getting really bumbly and confused with my introduction, which I've done now like however many times, 10 times. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like this energy, like you're having a hard time communicating what it is you need or what it is you want or what's missing. Okay, because I think on paper, people will kind of look at you and be like, what are you talking about, Pisces? Like everything's fine, or, you know, you didn't do anything wrong or something like that, but you know, you just can't put your finger on it. So I'm getting there's some sort of lack of clarity. You feel like you're not prepared enough. The Princess of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, you know, this is somebody who's ready to start a new direction, a new study, a new something, and they get all the details, you know, and they're just like completely to the T, everything's, you know, prepped, ready to go, you know, even maybe a little bit overly detail oriented. And this Princess of Swords is coming out like, you know, I'm not ready. I don't know all the facts. I can't make a decision without knowing everything or finding out for myself or seeing for myself or whatever that might be, okay? The Princess of Swords also represents communication and getting the big picture. And we can see here, you know, she's got this eagle, but again, it's in the reverse, you know, not being able to see the big picture. So that's kind of holding you back. And that's the journey that you're on, is trying to get some clarity here. In the reverse also, it can indicate spying, but I'm not really getting that for you guys. Maybe just for one or two of you. What you need to do to overcome these obstacles, you have the Sun. The Sun is in reverse. This is Leo energy, but this is like you need to come out of the shadows. The Eight of Cups energy that we see with this Nine of Cups in reverse, okay, that you don't actually see on the table, but I'm seeing very strong in my mind's eye, is like walking through the dark and being like, you know, I'm gonna figure this out no matter how long it takes, you know, whether I'm hungry and cold or whether I'm dressed properly or whatever, it doesn't matter. And I feel like you're being really, really hard on yourself, and Spirit is saying it's time for you to kind of step out into the sun, step out of the shadows. I think that like you are unnecessarily placing too much guilt or blame on yourself about whatever this sort of Wheel of Fortune in reverse means for you. Okay, it could be the breakup of a relationship. It could be a separation. It might not have anything to do with a relationship. It might be, you know, a decision you made about money or an investment or something like that. But it's kind of time for you to sort of try to be optimistic, show gratitude for everything that you have. Also, just be proud of yourself of everything that you've done. Like, don't overly focus on, you know, the negative here, you know, because again, I think it's you who's seeing things that way. I don't think everybody else is seeing Pisces as, you know, as that bad, you know what I mean? Because we do see the Nine of Cups coming out. It's like how you're projecting yourself. And the Nine of Cups is like wish fulfillment. It did come out in the reverse, sorry. It did come out in the reverse, but it's like, you know, still, it's like a good thing, you know, but I still see you being just way astronomically more hard on yourself than anybody else. And Spirit's saying it's time to come out, step into the sun, you know, come out of the cold, you know, this self-flagellating period. And for self-flagellation is when, you know, for example, monks, they beat themselves on their back until they bleed, you know, because, you know, whatever. Anyway, I won't get into it, but you know, so I feel like Pisces, like you're just being really, really hard on yourself, okay? And like sometimes, you know, when we're trying to make a decision, we just make the best decision that we can at the moment. And I feel like that's what happened, and that's what you did. All right. And like, you'll be able to bring everything back into balance. I see that happening for you. Okay. But like I feel like you're so worried that you don't have all the details and you don't want to mess it up again or something like that, and I feel like you just feel like you don't have enough information, or you can't quite pinpoint what it is that you exactly need. So that's the reason for you really pulling back. And I'm sorry, I just keep repeating myself, but I feel like I hear, Pisces, you justifying yourself, to other people, and kind of other people are like scratching their head and they're kind of like, it's not that big of a deal, Pisces, like, like bridge, water under the bridge, like no big deal, like we all mess up. All right. What you can do within to achieve your goals and your desires. Here we have the Prince of Swords. I do see a couple here. Maybe it's something having to do with your children. You may have a male and a female child. It could also have to do with, a partnership that never really quite got off the ground or something like that. I'm seeing, Pisces, like all of these cards came out in the reverse. Like I haven't read one card that's in the upright. So this is your energy. Like you guys are feeling like the world is flipped upside down. And I think that's a very awful way to feel, right? Like everything's going backwards. The Wheel of Fortune is upside down. Every other card is upside down. The Prince of Swords, what you can do within to achieve your goals and your desires. Well, he's somebody who is a little bit dogmatic in his thinking. In the upright, he's somebody who's very detail oriented. He's somebody who's willing, he's going to cut through all of the noise. He has a plan, he has a strategy, and he's not going to let anyone or anything stop him. But in the reverse, it's kind of like this blindfold. It's somebody who's blindfolded and dogmatic. They just have an idea stuck in their head. They're going to do it no matter what, but they're not really paying attention to the consequences. And then they're not paying attention how it affects other people. It's sort of like, I want to do this, but they're not paying attention to the fact that maybe circumstances have changed and that now what you want maybe isn't the best for you. So it's like, make sure that you're not doing something just for the sake of doing it, Pisces. Make sure that you're really doing it because it's what's the best thing for you and everybody involved. Obviously, I want you to put yourself first. Okay, but make sure that you're doing what's best for you and for everybody involved, okay? Little dog barking is saying, yes, Pisces. All right, but in the reverse, the Prince of Swords, it's like I also just see yourself being really hard on yourself and like kind of going to extremes, trying to, rectify something that maybe doesn't even really need to be rectified, if that makes sense. All right, what you can learn from the outside world or from others. Here we have your card coming up. Everything's in the reverse, Pisces. Here we go. We have the full moon. But this is like what you can learn from others is that divine timing is at work through meditation, not through being really hard on yourself, not through running off and because again, I see this 9 of Cups here. I see this as the 8 of Cups, and I see that person going off on a journey, and being like, it's okay if I starve. It's okay if I get stuck in the rain, like I deserve this, and I just see I see you being so hard on yourself. And this moon card is kind of like, this is going to stop. And I love the fact that it came out here with the sun, because Spirit is saying you need to step into the sun. This might feel like a nightmarish energy. This full moon might be really difficult for you. Remember, it's a very tech-savvy, very chatty moon. Geminis are kind of flippant. We don't think of them as like, Pisces are very much more like, they have so much more depth to them and to your emotions and that sort of thing. So you might be feeling like a little bit heartbroken. You might be feeling hurt. And I feel like you feel like everything is upside down and so confused, right? But like Spirit's saying, you guys need to step into the sun, okay? Everything will become clear, but you also just need to sort of relax. Like when all the lights go out, and if there's a moon, you give yourself that time for your eyes to adjust, so then you can see your path and what steps that you need to take. And it's like, and Spirit's really telling me, like, Pisces, take a deep breath. Like, and again, you're going to see that in the long run, whatever this isn't that big of a deal. Like, and Spirit is like, I want to wrap my arms around you and tell you it's okay. We're going to be okay. You've left a breadcrumb trail as well. So like, don't forget, but you just might feel like you're in a fun house in a funky, wonky sort of nightmare right now with this Gemini full moon energy. but you know, you're going to be okay, and everything's going to come to light. All right, everything's going to rectify itself. Okay. And your projected outcome, boom, there you are. The Hanged Man, this is Neptunian, this is Pisces energy. This is what I was seeing. I was telling you, I was seeing the Hanged Man energy. This is you, like, just relax. You're going to come out of it. You need to do you, but I also need you, not I, but Spirit is saying, you know, I want you to be less hard on yourself, Pisces. I want you to, you know, really like take a moment, pull back, and you're going to get the big picture here. Okay. You're going to get the big picture, because more than anything, you know, this Wheel of Fortune, you know, what goes around comes around. So even if you're experiencing sort of a bad run of luck, whether that's in love or whether that's in relationships or at work or whatever, it's your spiritual journey, you know, what goes up must come down. And also if you're, you know, taking the steps and you're above board, Pisces, you know, that everything's going to end up going your way eventually when the timing is right. So as you guys know, I'm in the Caribbean, so I'm going to be pulling some of my beautiful mermaid oracle cards to get additional messages for you. You guys will see these coming out a lot more in the days to come. All right, so messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for this Gemini full moon reading. Pisces, I just want you to hang in there. I feel like I see some of you kind of shedding tears. Okay, feeling like a little bit distraught, like a little bit upset, like I feel this sort of nervous pang in my solar plexus, like about 2 or 3 inches beneath my chest bone. All right, Spirit saying it's okay, you know, like everything's going to go back up. You know, it's kind of like when you're on one of those horrible rides. I hate roller coasters and that sort of thing, but those rides at the carnival and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, the pirate ship, you know, and you're hanging upside down. You know, will I ever live through this? You know, and yes, you will. It's going to come back down and you're going to land with your feet on the ground. Okay. All right, adrift. All right, letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. So again, the Hanged Man, one of the biggest messages there in the Hanged Man energy is, you know, is surrendering. So if you're having a hard time finding the solutions to any problems or issues or obstacles that you're experiencing, okay, the Hanged Man is all about, you know, surrender. Give it that time, because Spirit will give you the answers. You will find the answers, especially through meditation or exercise or cleaning the house or whatever it is that brings you peace. Okay, and this is being reiterated here with this card, Adrift. Letting go, allowing a higher force to take charge for a time. Okay, so again, you know, I think you've been doing too much work. I feel like you're a hamster on a wheel, and that's sort of really wearing you down and really, really difficult for you. So, you know, Spirit wants you to also rest. Okay, step into the sun for a bit. I feel like you've been in this fun house, this nightmare and this nightmare might be all of 2019. Remember, you know, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Lovers, we have the Chariot, we have the King of Cups, and we have the High Priestess. You know what I mean? Like there's stuff that, you know, there might be things that aren't really ready for you to be revealed. You might not be ready for them as well. So remember, divine timing is at work here. Then we have yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, and pining. Again, that could really be this Lovers card that's coming out. You could be separated. You could feel like you made a mistake and you're really wanting a reunion. But again, this could be with an actual person. It could be with the divine, or it could also be, you know, you and your higher self. Like that you're just feeling so out of whack and so unbalanced. And if that's the case, surrender. Okay, Pisces, do the energy work, do meditation, bring yourself back, journal, whatever it is you can do to sort of bring yourself back into feeling whole again. All right, Pisces, Spirit, I just want to say I love you so much. Okay, I love you so much, Pisces. That's the message. These are your angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides. Spirit is just saying, I love you, Pisces. This isn't going to be like this forever. We have the Sun card coming out again, although it wanted to come out in reverse. Everything's coming out. This 2 and 7, okay, this 27 card, this is that 8 of Cups card that I was seeing here with the 9 of Cups. You might have to walk away from something, or you might have walked away from something. You might have to just take a step off of the crazy train, Pisces. Like I was saying, like just let go of something, walk away from something, and step into the sun. I mean, I'm not going to keep going on and on because these are the exact same messages that I've been telling you this whole reading. Okay, that number 27, that is the 8 of Cups that I was seeing there with this 9 of Cups in reverse the whole time. You know, maybe you have to walk away from it. And again, if you're suffering a lot and things are too crazy and you don't have any answers, whoa, and your health card came out. health card came out. This is affecting your health, Pisces. It could be mental health. It could be, you know, mental, psychological. It could be your emotional health, but it could be your physical health. So it's really important that you guys sort of surrender for a bit, you know, like, and taking time out doesn't mean that it's ending or that it's over. Okay, Spirit wants you to step into the sun. I love this because this woman, she's definitely in a spa. She's in this like really yummy little hot tub, like all of this amazing stuff. You know, she's probably getting a massage after this, you know, a mud mask or doing whatever. So like self-care is going to be so important for you guys right now. Okay, I know everything is completely upside down in this reading, and I get that's how you're feeling, and you might not even have words for it. But, you know, Spirit is saying, you know, there is something good coming. You know, you will step into the sun, but you also need to be a little bit proactive in that. Okay, Pisces, I love you guys so much. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment, and share if that's something that you like to do. Don't forget to ring that notification bell if you want to see when I upload new material. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening.